Squid Game Season 3 is just around the corner and set to drop in just a few days. And at this point, the anticipation is boiling over. With the premiere date creeping closer and closer, the task of keeping secrets under wraps is clearly becoming a nightmare for Netflix and the cast. Leaks, teaser shots, behind-the-scenes slip-ups, and even interview blunders have started to pour in, giving fans more than they probably should be seeing before release day. But that just makes things more exciting. In this video, we're diving headfirst into some of the biggest spoilers, shocking new clips, and cryptic teaser images that have emerged recently. If you're even a little bit invested in Squid Game, this is not a breakdown you want to miss. But be warned, major spoilers ahead.
Let's get in! Woo!
One of the juiciest reveals came from an interview with Extra TV, which actually had to unlist and re-edit their video due to a major spoiler dropped by none other than Lee Jung-jae himself. While casually discussing the upcoming season, he slipped up and mentioned that in the 5th game, which is a terrifying new twist on jump rope, Gi-hun is seen holding a baby while jumping. Let that sink in for a moment. A baby, in the middle of a brutal Squid Game challenge. The big question here is, why is he holding the baby? What happened to player 222, Jun-hee, the baby's mother? Although nothing is directly stated, it's heavily implied that she doesn't make it to the 5th game. Whether she dies during childbirth or is simply too weak to continue competing after giving birth without any medical care, one thing is certain: her absence changes everything. And with her out of the picture, Gi-hun is left to carry not only the baby, but perhaps the emotional weight of protecting it too. Remember that eerie moment during the Mingle game when the shaman looks Gi-hun dead in the eye and tells him there's a reason he's still in the game? Then, without saying another word, her gaze shifts back to Jun-hee, almost like she's silently connecting the dots for us. At the time, it felt mysterious, maybe even cryptic, but now it's clear. She was foreshadowing everything. Fast forward to now, and an accidental spoiler from Lee Jung-jae pretty much confirms it. She was absolutely right. Gi-hun does have a purpose, and it's bigger than anyone expected. He's not just another desperate player trying to survive. He's the key to the baby's survival. The shaman saw it coming. She knew his fate was intertwined with the child's. What once seemed like a vague warning has turned into a powerful prophecy, and all signs now point to Gi-hun being the reason that baby makes it out of the games alive. Another fascinating reveal comes from Lee Byung-hun, who plays the mysterious and intimidating Frontman. During this same interview, he hinted that this season will show a more human side of his character. This crack in the cold exterior of the Frontman could mean several things. Is he starting to regret his role in the games? Does the sight of a helpless baby force him to finally take a stand? Or is it something more personal, perhaps connected to his brother Jun-ho, who we know has infiltrated the island once again? Could this spark some kind of internal conflict or redemption arc? It's hard to say for sure, but the hints are intriguing and definitely signal a shift in tone for one of the series' darkest characters.
Together, what the... You piece of... You ruin everything! You're worthless!
No one's blaming any of this on you!
On The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Lee Byung-hun shared more light-hearted moments as well, like how his own 10-year-old son was furious with him for attacking Thanos, his favorite character, in Season 2. It's funny and kind of adorable, but it's also a reminder that even villains have lives beyond the mask. However, it wasn't all fun and games. Lee also confirmed that more players will discover the Frontman's identity this season. That's big. Until now, he's stayed mostly behind the scenes, only revealing himself under specific circumstances. But now it seems the curtain will be pulled back, possibly to Gi-hun and even more of the remaining players. One possibility is MG Coin, the baby's father. If the Frontman shows any kind of mercy or alliance, it may be towards someone who's fighting not just for themselves, but for their child. The question of whether Player 001 will return in Season 3 was also raised, and Lee chose not to answer, clearly trying to avoid giving too much away. But his silence might speak volumes. My personal theory is that most players will assume Player 001 died during the rebellion, only to be stunned when he reappears later on. We also know that Captain Park contacts the Frontman and is told to make sure the island isn't found before the game's end. That one line confirms that the outside world is getting close, and that the Frontman is ready to tie up all loose ends. Later footage even shows him instructing someone to kill them all, which likely includes Junho, Woo-seok, and the rest of the crew trying to uncover the truth. Tensions are running high. As we know, Junho manages to escape the boat and make his way back to the island by scuba diving, but the fate of Woo-seok and the rest of the mercenaries remains a mystery. Their survival is still up for debate. What do you think? Did they make it out alive, or did something go terribly wrong? The official Spanish trailer offered even more fresh footage. We see players 120, 222, and 149 sprinting through the maze game, perhaps just before or after their encounter with player 226, Young Sam. There was speculation that this villainous moment belonged to player 007, Young Sik, but it's now confirmed to be 226. Namju also makes an eerie appearance, looking totally unhinged and high out of his mind, wearing Thanos' iconic crossbody drug stash. If Thanos does return in any form, it might be through Namju's drug-induced hallucinations, a twisted but poetic cameo. And then there's Daeho, one of the most debated characters this season. New footage shows him staring over the maze's edge, drenched in sweat, eyes filled with dread. Fans are torn. Is he having a breakdown because he can no longer keep up his lies? Is the guilt consuming him, or is it simply the pressure of the game catching up with him? Either way, it doesn't look promising for Daeho, and the fourth game may be where his mask finally shatters. With just days left until the premiere, the leaks and interviews are painting a brutal, emotional, and unpredictable picture for Squid Game Season 3. Babies in the arena. The Frontman cracking under pressure. Players losing allies and discovering the horrifying truths behind the masks. One thing is for sure, this season is not going to pull any punches. It's gearing up to be the most intense yet, with high-stakes drama, emotional gut punches, and shocking twists at every turn. So what do you think? Will Gi-hun survive with the baby? Will the Frontman betray the system he once served? And who, if anyone, will escape the nightmare alive? Let us know your wildest theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay ahead of the curve for all things Squid Game, smash that like button, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Season 3 is coming, and trust me, you're going to want to be here when it hits. While you're here, don't miss out on these other Squid Game videos popping up on your screen. If you're hungry for more theories, breakdowns, and exclusive updates, head over to my channel and dive into the rest of my Squid Game content. Thanks for watching. Your support means the world. See you in the next one.